Oh, hi, hello, welcome back to me clearing my throat. Me, a guy who used to work for the video games industry, clearing his throat consistently and frequently due to recently discovered adult onset asthma as he plays through Elden Ring Part 93, I think. R.I.P. Doug Gilmore. Now, in the last episode, I did a, what cave was it? Boy, was it ever difficult. And it's nice, thank you for mentioning, the giant, mountaintop catacomb. Thank you for mentioning, Dorkmoon Blade, that cat encounter specifically was a little bit overtuned because it makes me feel a little bit better about my, my performance. But goddamn, it was frustrating. It's a frustrating dungeon, and, I also realized that I was, bitching. Is that the word? Yes, bitching. We'll say bitching. A lot about the invisible walls, or the false walls, and like both Dorkmoon Blade and Mucus Broth mentioned that players really like the invisible walls, or the false walls, illusory walls rather. And it's interesting because I don't hate the idea of illusory walls at a fundamental level. I hate the potential they have for creating what I would consider like negative gameplay loops, or perhaps, what's the word my boss used to use? Not negative. Damn it. Words escaping my brain. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm deliriously tired. I'll continue my thoughts about illusory walls in a second, but Mucus Broth, you mentioned that you wanted to see me do Ranni's quest. So I did a quick Google search about where Ranni went after she disappeared from her tower, because I'm pretty sure that's the last time I saw her. And it said to go to Renna's Rise. I'm trying to avoid, spoilers besides this. But so I guess maybe this will lead me to Ranni. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe I've gone through this gate already. I've been playing this game for so long that it's really hard for me to remember what I have and have not done and seen already. Like, it's been, 10 months, 9 months, whatever, since the game started. Either way, the illusory walls, yeah, they don't bother me at, a fundamental level of having... of having things in the world where if you pay close attention to them, they open up new possibilities for you. Which is essentially what the illusory walls do. If you keep a keen eye out, maybe you'll discover an illusory wall that will give you loot, or an enemy to fight, or this or that. And I think... I've never tested if you can swim in this game, but I'm going to assume that you can't. Oh man, what was the thing that The concept I was so desperately searching for here is the degenerative gameplay loop, which is effectively when the game rewards the player for what the designer deems to be unfun behavior, like not positive behavior, negative behavior, which, in the context of illusory walls would be just like running around smacking walls all the time with no context or no visual support for which wall is or is not illusory. Isn't necessarily fun for the player, so you might consider that a degenerative gameplay loop. Anyways, just trying to remember the negatively reinforcing gameplay loop that the word that I'm looking for, my boss used to say. Miniature Ranni. What the heck is this? And a key item. What is the difference between acquire materials and okay? Acquire those materials. Oh, I see. You're switching things. Okay, I'll get back to the illusory wall thing in a second. Or will I? I'll probably forget about it. Miniature Ranni doll. Doll resembling Ranni the Witch. A doll resembling Ranni the Witch. From head to toe, every detail is perfect. This unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. I think someone told me, someone told me that Ranni is actually like a doll. Her body is actually a doll because she abandoned her her real body, and then that was just her spirit, or whatever the land between spirit equivalent of spirit is inside of this doll body. But yeah, so I think, again, illusory walls, not necessarily a bad thing at a fundamental level, rewarding the players for keeping their eyes open and experimenting. I don't like that anything could be an illusory wall, because the visual forecasting and the visual language around illusory walls is not as obvious as I would suspect it would be. Now, I think I've got I've got a design sense that's pretty representative of the general Western game designer. You know, I don't speak for every game designer who's not from Japan or Korea or China. But I think for the most part, you'd be hard-pressed to find a game that does... a Western-developed game that does illusory walls like Elden Ring does. If you were to see something that was an equivalent of an illusory wall... I'm trying to think of what that could be. I don't know. I'm sure there's a very obvious parallel that I can think of right now. I would think that the visual language for it would be much more clear and consistent, whereas the illusory walls in Elden Ring are very... I think Dorkman Blade said that... Yow! Yes, Dorkman Blade said yow. But Dorkman Blade also said that, I mean, if you look closely, you can find... yeah, if you look closely at illusory walls, you could probably... Oh, hey! Haven't seen you in a while. Apparently my DualShock 4 battery is low. Well, hopefully it doesn't die in the middle of this boss fight. Which is probably true, just because they're, I'd say, generally set up in a way that is, you know, it's at a dead end, or it may have fewer things obscuring it in the front. Like there might be fewer rocks, or, you know, you wouldn't have things like vines growing on a illusory wall, because the vines would, like, they'd just be floating in the air once the wall was gone. However, what it does do is if the player knows that there could be illusory walls anywhere, and like for real, anywhere, because I don't think the art assets are unique. The art dressing of an illusory wall might be, you know, consistent, because again, you shouldn't have stuff on it, because then what do you do with the stuff that's on it when the wall disappears? Like if you had a sconce with a piece of fire on it, what do you do what do you do with the sconce once the wall's gone? Make it disappear? That's a lot of work. But what the problem that it does introduce, in my opinion, is because they can be anywhere. When the player reaches some peculiarly created spaces, like that were in that catacombs that I just did, like when I jumped on top of the lift and then essentially had those little shelves that existed for almost no reason, that I could find, they're going to check every single wall to see if it's illusory, which is not fun, because again, like, players who've been playing video games for a long time know, oh, if there's a dead end, or if there's a space that seems to have nothing in it, it probably actually has a thing in it. It probably was built for a reason. But when you can't find that thing, you can't see it, obviously, you're going to start checking for illusory walls, but I just think it just makes an undesirable gameplay loop, in my opinion, of having the players just constantly... there's too many possibilities. Hi. Do I have to, like, jump attack you? Yeah, I think illusory walls, again, at a fundamental level, fine. I just think that they could be more obviously visually communicated, and then I would not have nearly as much of a problem with them. I guess it's got a very ranged battle, eh? Ooh! You throw rocks at me, and now I throw rocks at you. Or not. I've gotten your notes, Dorkman Blade, about getting more help. You sack of potatoes. And I'll work on it. I just still want to get my faith up to 70 before anything else, so that I can... Oh, that's cool. I feel pretty cool throwing rocks. Oh man, it is a cool skill. Yeah, I want to get my faith up to 70 as like my primary priority right now, because I want to be able to use the Erdtree Soul. So, how many stat points do I have anyways? Oh, you suggest having like 50 to 60 vigor, and I've got a sweet, strong, sultry 35. Keeping it slim, keeping it light, keeping it fast and fresh. But hey, maybe I'm doing this on purpose, so that the game is a little bit harder, because, you know, it's getting kind of easy for me. This game's getting a little easy. Maybe need to keep my vigor low to keep the difficulty up, because I'm just becoming so good at this game now that I think I need some additional challenge. So I might just have to keep my health low. You're telling me he finished that? My gosh, that's a lot of health. Who's getting crazy? Oh, I'm getting crazy. When did that start happening? Oh, I'm getting powderized. You know what the problem is, and why I'm not performing up to my optimum? I'm not dancing anymore. Can you just die, please? Thank you. Go away forever. Never come back. Cool. Now, are you so very impressed? Are you as impressed with me as I'm with me that I haven't summoned yet, despite having the ability to summon this entire time? Wow, this was really poorly communicated. It looked to me that this was a waterfall flowing down to here, but actually it's the opposite. I'll blame my severe exhaustion on that miscommunication. Clayman ashes. That's interesting. Let's have a look at that. I'm assuming Claymen are the creatures that are coming after me right now. The one that's probably going to stab me while I'm reading the description. Bowed? I guess both in this case. Bowed and bowed would both make sense, because they're bowing, because they're hunched over, but bowing also means to bend. So we're going to go with bowing. Bowed, even though it's probably actually bowed. Bowed with age. These spirits are sluggish but hard to stagger. Yeah, right. I'm staggering them. Call me Mick Stagger. That's so easy for me to stagger them. Anyways, warped remains of priests who searched for the revelation in service of the ancient dynasty. They employ two sorceries that produce small and large bubbles. Interesting. Is that the same bubble as those French hornblowers in Lanedell? I think those are the only other people that I've seen have the bubble magic. But also, that dragonfly thing I just killed had bubbles all up and down its spine. Kind of, right? Cool creature, or character models, though. Oh, no. The other character models that looked similar to this, but less mucky, in the aqueduct, where I met Glide, those also had a very bubbly appearance. Okay, a bubbly spell, I think. All right, are we Going for a ride? Yeah. They cast those bubbles. Oh, this is cool. I like it. Haven't seen these things in a while. Oh, I guess we're back kind of underground again. Ah! In the same place as the aqueduct, right? Deep root depths. Okay, yeah, and the Necron, Siofra aqueducts were in the same general space. I'm gonna get dropped on by these things, aren't I? Come on down. Come on. Let's get this over with. Drop on me. Drop on me. Ooh. I'm kind of saddened to not be walking around with a lightning bolt anymore, but that was probably the spell that I used the least, or at least had found the fewest creatures vulnerable to. Oh, also, I wanted to talk about I found it. Is it oh no! Is this the queen? Ah, whoa! That's a big old brain. Not worth it. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die? Die. Thank you. Interesting how Frost Spell is not a specific spell type. Because, I don't know, it seems like maybe in some ways that would be good for, like, PvP? I don't plan on ever PvPing this game, but if you can't build up resistances... I mean, actually, that's very specific. And you'd probably never, like, build up resistances anyways in PvP to specific type, because you don't know what kind of spells the person you're fighting is going to have. So this guy, last time we saw one of these guys, they were worshipping the place where that bull was. You know, the bull that walks like a proud cat. Yo! Man, he's doing some serious damage. Okay, well, I assumed that this was the wrong way to go, so I went this way. But it would seem to me that this was the right way to go. Oh, shit! Okay, I'm gonna backtrack. No, let me jump on you. I'm just gonna backtrack here a little bit and see where this other path leads. Well, I was hoping for a dead end because my brain can't handle having multiple valid directions to go simultaneously. My pea brain doesn't know what to do. So this... Oh, a little slowdown there. Interesting. I'll be loading some sick art assets on the other side of this. Ranni, where are you? Whoa, I had a couple... Nuxstella, the Eternal City. So there are multiple Eternal Cities. Necron and Nuxstella? Okay, now that I know that this probably is the path forward, I'm gonna skitter on back to the other way. for an ooh palace. So those are all pure physical damage, I guess? Okay. Can I just fireball this guy? No. Get the button. Aim for the shaft. That was such a beautiful unintentional step. Aim for the shaft. Oh, it did damage. Nice. What is going on here? These art assets have been squished to hell. I'm assuming they're supposed to be totally circular, but they're spherical, rather, not circular. They've been squinched. Alright. Isn't it beautiful when you are running around with way, way, way more souls than you thought you had? Trap me. Munch me up. No? Wing of Astel. What are you? Oh, oh, oh. I hate. Sword fashioned from a delicate wing suffused with the magic of the stars. So these are star people. All these gravity goys. Strong attack unleashes a wave of enchanted light, crafted from the relic of the natural born of the void, who is said to have assailed the eternal city. Seems like they still are assailing it. Well, I mean, it's a wing, all right. I'll stick with my me blade. Now, every bone in my body is telling me to go over there and look for like some treasure in a false wall. But there's been several times in this game where me, has run to one of those dead ends, and there's actually been nothing. Ah! Oh, and I think, because I'm not sure if I wrapped up that thought entirely with the illusory walls, when I was saying that I can't speak for all Western designers, but I think I have a generally consistent Western design sense. The reason I brought that up is because I think maybe I did complete this idea. Whatever, can follow through with it anyways. You'd probably be hard pressed to find a highly successful. Oh, maybe maybe if I'm wrong, tell me, please. But I think you'd be hard pressed to find a high budget, quote unquote AAA or whatever highly successful Western developed game that has illusory walls in the same implementation as Elden Ring does. Generally, they'd be done with a lot clearer visual language. I just can't imagine just like thinking of that kind of being presented at my old workplace. Of like having these illusory walls that are not as well, like that have not the strongest consistent visual language, and I would think it would get kiboshed immediately, and I think again that's just like in general the Western design sense of like, no, you gotta, if you're gonna have that kind of stuff, you're gonna have these walls that reward the player for seeking them out and knocking them down and having treasure behind them. They need to be more visually obvious. Because even if you think back to even Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, didn't have illusory walls per se, but they had walls that served the same purpose as illusory walls. Where if you blew them up, there was something behind it, and you could always tell which one was one of these bombable wall. Ah, shit. bombable walls because they were they essentially had a consistent appearance every time, and they stood up in the background. Now that was probably partially due to the art limitations of the time, so they couldn't really blend it in that well. But it served the same purpose. Is what I'm saying. It's like it was a wall that if the player was paying attention when they're running around, they could find it. They see it, they throw a bomb at it, they get treasure behind the wall, or they unlock a new area, or whatever it may be. It's really common to build gameplay mechanics into games that reward player for having a keen eye and paying attention to the environment. Again, referencing Ocarina of Time, if you keep your eyes open, if I recall correctly, there were boulders that you could blow up that... There was boulders of a specific color that you could blow up with bombs, and there were boulders of another color that you couldn't blow up with bombs, and you had to... I don't know if you had to lift them with the silver gauntlets, but I think there were boulders you could blow up, and there were boulders that you couldn't blow up. And again, it rewarded the player for paying attention to their surroundings and identifying these boulders, but they weren't nearly as visually innocuous. They weren't nearly as subtle as the illusory walls of Elden Ring. So that's my problem with it. Too subtle. But I get that people like it, and again, if I haven't said this before, shame on me, but design, good design, I guess design in general, is a totally subjective practice. So just because I don't think something is good design doesn't mean that everybody will think it's a bad design, or that people won't enjoy it. So, and it's kind of, it's also, that's one of those, ooh, I assume those bubbles do a shitload of damage if they hit you. Maybe not. It's interesting for me to play this game and learn about features in a game like the illusory walls, actually almost like exclusively the illusory walls, and have a misalignment of what I would expect. Like if I were designing this game, if I was in a position of power where I could, which I never was, well, not really. No, I mean, look, I was never in a position of power when I was a game designer. But if I were ever in a position of power to kind of say yes or no to kind of pervasive game design systems like these illusory walls, I would have definitely said no to the illusory walls, for sure. I would have for sure said no. And I think a lot of Western designers would have done the same thing, but is that the right decision? I mean, the fact that From Software game players enjoy it means maybe I'd be wrong to say that. However, that also could be the reason why From Software players, I guess, tolerate, expect illusory walls could be a thing of familiarity. Maybe when it was first introduced, or like illusory walls were introduced in the first, either Dark Souls or Demon Souls or wherever, maybe they weren't really loved, and then over time people have kind of come to enjoy them through exposure. Yeah. But initially they may have been not the hottest commodity. But either way, I still think it's fascinating to learn where my decisions when making a game, or my hypothetical decisions, would be the wrong decision. It's always neat to learn that. To learn when you're wrong, especially when you're confident that you're right. Good way to grow. Not that I ever intend on building games ever again. But if I did, this game taught me a lot about things that I would think are inherently bad, but in fact aren't the end of the world. And maybe even a positive addition to the game. So I'm assuming that the Ranni questline is continued down here somehow. That's what the doll was. Here's another. The doll was kind of suggesting. Here's another. Oh, Pudge, you look pissed. A missed opportunity. Okay. hell's happening there? Whoa. The fade out or the dithering of assets when you clip through them is wild looking. Whoa. Yeah, I'm assuming the Ranni quest line is continued here, and that's what the doll is. The doll is just there to prompt us, like, oh yeah, you're gonna find something to do with Ranni here. Oh, did I miss an opportunity to get up there? Tetra. Perhaps I did. Oh, maybe it's a loop back around afterwards. If I go through this little gateway here. Sorry. I don't know why occasionally I'll bust out a terrible British accent. But it just happens. Bonjour mes amis, où est les bibliothèques? Ici? Ah, ici, merci. I don't think Pudge Jr. is worth it here. He's just gonna fight everybody. Whereas I think the play is to use my swift gams in GTFO. Ah! Fuck, I'm dead. Nope. Have I discovered a secret? Aha! Ha ha ha! The loop has been completed. Joseph Gordon-Levitt would be proud. Bruce Willis would be proud? Both of them. Plowed. Getting plowed as I close my loop. Okay, no unnecessary risks here. I got far too many runes in my possession. I guess I gotta do another loop or something to get up there. Alright, well, maybe we'll double back. I mean, I won't double back, but the level will double back on itself. God damn! What did I just say about no unnecessary risks? Oh shit, and my thumbstick is falling apart. This is dangerous. Oh, it'd be really cool as if this took a long time to come and then we had to fight off creatures for ages. Oh, multi-kill, multi-kill, multi-kill. Aha! Oh-ho! Hee-hee! I like this little thing, though. I don't know if the elevator's behind us. I'm just going to pretend that it's not, so I have to fight my way out of this. I think that'd be a really cool little encounter. Encouraging the player to run away and avoid all these creatures, and then actually making them fight them as they approach towards you as you wait for an elevator to slowly lower. That would have been a cool encounter. Alright, that's one more. Shabriri, you are my friend. I love your spell. Not all of your spells, just one of them. Too bad you're such a lunatic, though. Ah. Oh, this is cool. I'm a little disoriented. I'm a little disoriented. Let's give this yeah, what are we at? 63, yeah, still quite a few faith left till we have to oh my god, look at how perfect this level up number is. All these runes. I'm gonna have 21 left over. Yeah, I'm just gonna... You know, I could just... I wonder, is there a disadvantage to thanks. Is there a disadvantage to just using up these mega runes I have in my inventory? Because I've got, like, this is how much? 50,000? I probably have close to a few levels worth of runes in here. And, you know, keep the lower runes. I don't know. Runes distant from Elden Lord, but when the Elden Ring was shattered, all that remained was a distant duty. That'll be me one day. Where, oh, where am I? Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's where I came from. Great lighting. Great framing. Great forearms. And Albinuriac as well, right? Because... Oh, no, wait. No, never mind. Not necessarily. I know Albinuriacs had those sweet 4 arms. Maybe even 5 arms. Or 6 arms. But I know... It was Ranella also had some enormous Stretch Armstrong style forearms as well. So, and she was not a Albinuriac. Who is down here? This, I'm sure. This must be a boss fight, no? Seems to be setting us up for one. Got a thing nearby. Site of Grace nearby. Nothing in our way. What's going on here? Nothing important. This, I almost feel like I've just done a loop. Because this looks awfully similar to that space before where I looped backwards. But it is not. God, so many ways to go. They still have that enormous, what seemed to be an enormous space that I left before. That I have not returned to yet. That's kind of disappointing that there's no visual or auditory feedback. When you smack those soldier boys. Hi. Let's free aim this one. Pop that balloon. Nice. Double kill? Oh! Beautiful. And this is quite a disorienting space. I'm sure it's quite simple. I'm sure the layout is quite simple, but it's, it feels like there's lots of ways to go. Lots of ways to go that aren't necessarily meaningful. Yet. Oh, this is just leading me back to up here so I can get this drop down. I mean, I like it when games do these kind of this circular design where things loop back on themselves, but this was like, this was really roundabout. It kind of, I think this is a fair piece of criticism here. Yeah, I think circular design, which essentially is, I mean, it depends who you ask. I'll call it a circular design. Celestial Dew. Is that like Mountain Dew? Circular design is effectively, or what I'm going to call circular design at this moment, is where you'll, oh, okay, where you will build a space that effectively reinserts onto itself. Now, I don't even know what the site of Grace I was at was. I guess it's this one. You'll build the level that will essentially, like, loop back on itself. And you see this a lot. I think it was lots of Skyrim dungeons did that, where you'd kind of enter in, you'd see a little place that would drop down, and that drop down was effectively the end of the dungeon. So when you were done the dungeon, you would drop back down to the entrance and then just leave, which is cool. And you'll see lots of games have these little circular designs where over short distances you will do these tiny little exploration loops that like lead you up onto a little shelf up here, a cliff up here, where you'll get a thing, and then you can drop back down to the main play space, which is effectively what that loop just did, except for it did it over such a huge play space that it wasn't impressive from a level design perspective. It's impressive when those things are like crafted efficiently, so you are building a space, and then like before you know it, oh, I'm back on the main play space. You're building this place, you get these little exploration loops, reward the player, and you're back on the main path you were before, and they're done so in an efficient way, so you're not running like a kilometer to do this loop. But the fact that loop took so freaking long to do, and it led me so far back, and it was so physically far and didn't reward us very well, just, it wasn't that cool, it wasn't that impressive. It was just like a really, I'd say a really bad example of like a circular level design with an exploration reward at the end. Just not a good one. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just, if I were to make a presentation on an example of bad circular level design, or like bad circular exploration, that would be a pretty prime example, because it was not good. In fact, it was bad. What's up, bitch? Another dynamic spawn? There's so few of those in this game. Dynamic spawn being you run to a thing, and then things spawn as a result of you entering some sort of like trigger volume. Because those things weren't here before. I probably entered a trigger volume at the end of that little dead end there, and then they spawned in. I remember it happening one other place in this game, but they're pretty rare, honestly. Okay. Hi there. Ooh, can I line up a twofer? Line up a threefer even. Let's try it out. I'll get a twofer, whatever. Oh. So beautiful. Oh, maybe I'll get a twofer here again. No. Got a little too, got a little too excited there. I might be a little over-leveled for this space. Just might be. Oh, man. I'm not loving this space. So many exploration fingers and dead ends that haven't given great exploration rewards. Now, are you safe to walk behind? Oh, you're just a water wall. Not just a waterfall, but a waterfall wall. Was that really necessary? Why don't you just move that, this little thing, this tunnel? Move that waterfall closer here. I don't know. It's just... I'm in a bad mood. I'm just talking so much shit about the design of the space. I mean, frankly, it's not. It hasn't been that interesting or that compelling. So I don't think it is a great space. But they can't all be good. And, saying that this space has that little circular level design loop that we did before was bad. This game has had interesting, like, well-done circular level design where you'll kind of reinsert back onto a space where, like, a Site of Grace will serve multiple different traversal branches and routes through a level. Like, that's always interesting. I think of, like, a good example of, like, a really good circular level design that From Software games has done before, I think. Is it Undead Burg? Or essentially, you kind of loop back to where you were at one point, kick a ladder down, and then you reuse the bonfire. Like, they do that pretty frequently in this game. And sometimes they're really good. So, am I going anywhere near Noxtella again? Is this just a long roundabout way to go to Noxtella? This almost feels like it's going to take me to the overworld. Totally is, isn't it? I'm going to end up... Where am I? Oh, I guess I never really explored this space? Okay. Cool. I guess I'll go back down and, yeah, finish up exploring... Oh, oh. The Noxtel... No, by finish up exploring, I mean just start exploring. It's a beautiful, beautiful landscape, though. The draw distance and the detail in some of these objects, these Vista objects, is really nice, with beautiful lighting. Yeah, this game... I think when I first started playing, I observed that it was a pretty good-looking game, and that, like, up close is where... Ooh, this guy started out hurt? What's going on? You're an injured giant. But yeah, up close, you know, it looks good enough. It looks pretty good. But they've got some really nice vistas in this game. Really, really, really good. Alright, let's go down to, Noxtala. Noxtala! Speaking of good looking, they posed this, State of Grace point really nicely. That's a good looking shot right there. That is beautiful. Wowie! Is that a... Whoa! Cool! An ant rider! Can I target either or? I can, okay. You about to whip me? Oh, very nice. Yeah, this space is beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Interesting foliage. I like it. Hi. Oh, you got the gloopy mace, right? Yeah, it's like gloopy mace. That'll stretch? Yeah, yeah. Whatever it was called. Pretty sure that was the official name. Was the gloopy mace. Because that gloopy mace was a mimic tier thing, am I right? Something to do with the mimic tiers. Nox flowing hammer. Mace shaped like the suspended metal droplet wielded by monks of the Eternal City. Forged from liquid metal from a silver tier, it is thoroughly tempered until hardened. Okay. So those are the monks of the Eternal City. I guess we're at the Eternal City's, like, neighboring city, right? We're nearby. Here's the question, will it hit both of them? Okay, well, in theory, it could hit one of them. Well, what happens if I kill the rider? Does the horse die as well? No, the steed goes on. Can I ride you? Oh, probably not. Nox? Nox Swordstress armor. Armor worn by the Swordstresses of the Eternal City. These women are the personal guards of the Night Maidens and wear silk capes. Long ago, Nox invoked the ire of the Greater Will and were banished deep underground. Now they live under the false night sky, an eternal anticipation of their liege, of the coming age of the stars, and their Lord of the Night. I remember reading that a long time ago. Seems like the space is deceptively large. What is going on there? I thought it was a... Alex Mack was arc welding. All kinds of shit happening here, hey? Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah! Yikes! Yikes! Who is that? Is that the Night Lord? Look like Master Mold. Just pumping out sentinels. Holy shit. Something of significance is happening here. But I am unable to appreciate it, I think. Or unable to appreciate its gravity in its entirety, at the very least. Yeah, this space is not small. Where are you going? Why are you so fast and so observant? You're the most observant scarab around. Don't mind if I do. Wow! 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 Oh, those guys hit hard. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Are they fighting? Oh, because they've been enslaved. Interesting. That's cool. All right, have at her. Okay, is this lift is just gonna take us to the surface, eh? I mean, I gotta try. I have a feeling it's just gonna take us to. We'll have to learn if it's gonna take us to Lernia. Oh no, it takes us down. Ooh, I wonder if it's gonna take us to the foot of Master Mold. Or just to another place. Man, this space is big. So far, too big for its own britches. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, I like exploration, but sometimes I think games need to just suck it in a little bit. A little bit more linear. Tighten up. And I think this is one of those instances where this game... I mean, maybe I might be missing something, but... I mean, something as far as the intention goes. I know I'm missing something as far as, like, exploration goes. But, yeah, it seems like there's just a lot of fat in this space. Which is really interesting to play as a level designer, because often when you build spaces... you have to set a budget for those spaces as far as land size goes, like footprint. Because if you build a space that's too big, like the more space you build, it's not just you build a space and then it's done forever. It's free. It's gone. It's not like a one-time investment. It's like when you build a space, depending on the method in which it's built, you know, 1, the level designer has to build it. 2, the environment artist has to art it up. 3, the QA has to test it all. 4, you have to populate with content. Like, it's not just like, hey, I'm going to build the space, and look how big it is. How cool is that? No, it's like, there's a lot of knock-on considerations with building a space that's large you have to consider, and that's why you'll often have established budgets for how big a level can be, so you don't run into an issue. Man, those things are tanky. So you don't run into an instance where, yeah, you just end up building too much space, and then you don't have the time or the money to art it up, to QA it, to populate it with encounters, to populate it with rewards and content. So it's really interesting to me to play an environment like this that seems like it is a lot bigger than it needs to be physically. But again, I could be missing some. At first glance, at first playthrough, it seems like it's much, much bigger than it needs to be. But perhaps there's a grand bon reason for being so huge. Man, the Pope's a bitch. Master Mold. Let me down. Oh, I probably have to go to the waterfall basin in order to get to Master Mold. Okay. I'll get there eventually. Hello? Hello? Anyone here? Trap me. See what happens. Or don't. Oh, I can probably upgrade my Mimic tier by now. So I'm going to run up, before I go back down to the basin, I'm going to run up here, because I thought I saw what appeared to be the old PP waterfall, suggesting there's a boss up here. Which I'm kind of curious who it would be. I mean, if I were a resident of the Lands Between, I'd want to hang out here too. So, whoever this boss is, I think has great taste in landscape. Wait, did I just do a big stupid loop that I can't actually complete? Oh, yeah, there you go. I can't. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, I'm silly. Silly me. Oh. Nice moves. Oh, nice. A little out of range. That's okay. Ah! Ah! Uh-oh. Oh, my kryptonite. Well, kryptonite that gets killed in one shot. But still, my kryptonite. Oh, no. Oh, no. Pathetic. Imagine if you could stack the range of sword dance with one of those whips. These art assets here are beautiful, too. This whole area has been... ooh, ant skull plate. A shield? Oh, it's a heavy shield. It's one of those big old ants. A huge head of one of the giant ants which inhabit the two underground rivers, used without modifications as a shield, excels at repelling enemy attacks. Giant ants are venomous creatures, granting a boost to immunity when wielding the shield. Cool. Yeah, the art assets in this space are really, really pretty. Overall, this is just a beautiful, beautiful area. What's that made of? You know, like paper mache? What is it supposed to be made of? Why are you... Oh. Who cares? Okay, can I hurt you guys? Oh, yeah. I just need the right damage type. Or I think the game is telling us to just walk on by. If you can. Okay, can I attack? Am I getting electrocuted? Oh! Am I getting electrocuted if I hit you when you're sparking off like that? Oh, he got me. Okay, I learned my lesson there. Or did I? Oh, we'll see. I think I just run past all these beautiful metal blobs. Jesus! Good for you for doing so much damage with a knife. Wow. Should be proud of yourself. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa! Do you have a shield? Is this a chest I can open? Ah. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Excuse me. Whoa. I like this. I like this, this encounter. A ladder? Annoying boss run, though. I would rather not have to do this again. This wall isn't nearly as urine-colored as a lot of the other boss walls are. Huh? Oh, I can't even go in. Is it a boss encounter and I can only enter it from one way? Is that what's going on here? Color me stuck? Okay, not quite. You know, I have at least 6,000 stone sword keys at this point. I've been very conservative with them. Oh, no. I don't want to deal with you. But you want to deal with me, so I guess we have to deal with each other. Hi. Hello. What is going on here? Look at those nips! What a cool weapon set! Wait, is that it? Did I just open? Okay, good, thank you. Give me something juicy. Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. Who are you? I bet they made this little balcony here with this door so that you could see it from the bottom, and that's what would pull you up here and try and find this space. Because I think it'd be pretty easy to ignore this stone sword key area, but from the bottom they give this little visual forecast that, hey, there's something up here. Come hither. Check it out. Let's check out that Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. An old puppet crafted in the Eternal City used to summon spirits of Night Maiden and a Swordstress. These sisters, members of the cold-blooded race who wield flowing weapons, became puppets of their own volition. Oh, so they're specific people, Night Maiden and Swordstress. Cool. All right. I think I'm going to call this one there. I know I didn't quite complete this space, but, you know, you got to stop making a video somewhere, and I got stuff to do. But either way, I appreciate your time, and when we get back, we'll further explore this underground city, appreciate its art and its beauty more, and then hopefully eventually get down to Master Mold down there and find out what the heck is going on. Are you moving? Sweet little infinity gauntlet there. Oh, I want to look, I want a closer look. Okay, don't roll off the edge, Pudge. Alright. Cool. Alright, it's going to end it here. Thanks for your time, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Bye-bye!